Not this guy. This wave. Sorry. 170-mile-an-hour waves. Oh. All right, howdy folks, welcome back. Pretty crazy stuff going on right now. Let me kill that music here. All right, get rid of that. All right, howdy folks, welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right, let's get started here with our solar report. As you can see, here we are, April 7th. 2024. You see this event erupting off the top of the sun. See the magnetic field lines coming off the V-shaped bow shock on the back. Then we have another eruption from that vicinity. Okay, so let me just get adjusted here for you guys. Let that loop play for a second. Let your trained eye kind of take a peek at what's going on in there. In the meantime, I'd like to thank everybody for taking a moment out of their time to be here with this precious family. Yes, precious family. All right, let's dive on in, shall we? So you can see all kinds of little spits and sputters going along. Our object's right up there. And we'll capture that when it comes back around. Okay, so let me just kind of position this just about right. You can see that opening frame here at 024. All right, opening frame here, 024. Our event's already underway. Big dent in the in this red line right here, all right, indicating our round objects right in the middle of that right there. You can almost see it, all right? Then as we continue on, it's still in that bulge right there. Then, oops, continue, please. You'll see that pop to the back behind it. Back that this object's putting a dent in the backside now. There. Let's see if we can get it just in between those two. All right, so there's your object. And then as we continue, watch its magnetic field lines, the little wakes that come off of it. See the this V shape. This is not picking up very well. Why is it not picking up on my camera very well? Maybe we'll slide it down like this. This V-shaped bow shock tail type structure here. It doesn't seem to be picking up very good. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow, okay? I got word from the spiritual realm of what's going to happen tomorrow. Not the end of the world. Let's look at it as a new beginning, okay? We'll get into that, okay? First, let me take care of this real quick here. And we're make quick work of this here. All right, there we go. So there's that little V-shaped bow shock or tail coming off of it right there. We also have this spire coming off down here. They're usually an indicator. Here's our next event, though. You see our little round object right in here. and another one trailing right there. Did you see how this did that whip effect? Let me go forward a little bit. See that whip effect as that thing emerges? It moves on out. Now we have our activity off of this spire over here. And there's another object there, faintly moves out of frame there. Okay, so we're approaching the bigger one again. These are all the little outer moons, outer satellites. I call them satellites because they could be planetoids. It could be entire little solar systems on their own. For there to be a new beginning, the old one needs to end. That might happen. We'll see. I know when we get there, you'll understand how the old one will end. Okay, it's not gonna. Everybody's gonna die. The world's just gonna have a new perspective. Let's just say. All right, so there's that. Let me put it back into motion here, and just let that play. The loop play a couple of times there. Slide it over a little bit. In order to understand what's going to happen tomorrow, you kind of need to understand the whole spiritual report and everything that we do here. So if you haven't been here for a while, it's kind of important that you've been here and done the homework and stuff. But we'll get to it. All right, so there's your object. You can see it moving out there. All right, let's continue on. It's good to see you here, gent. I miss you, bud. All right, let's get... Please, Lord, can we have... All right. Little technical difficulties at the moment while we're waiting on this thing to do its thing. I just wanted to let everybody know. Well, we gotta save that for a spiritual report. Can we please have this? Why is it just jammed up mid-thing? There it goes. All right. All right, let's get over here to Solar Ham here. We'll zoom in on this real quick, and we'll take a look at our GOES X-ray flux for today. All right, now, before, let me get that a little bit better. There we go. Before we were way down below the seafloor here. Our low indices down here. This is getting kind of scary. It's almost too low. And when we were having activity, it was barely reaching up to the seafloor. Now you see our indices have lifted a little bit. We had a little activity. Now it's starting to drop back down. I was hoping that we were going to see some more lifted indices and see it kind of stay around the sea level. But as you can see here, let me move my fat hand out of the way. We'll just use this guy. As you can see, it's dropping back down here again. And we are in B range at 3.9, which is very cautionary. Something I need to kind of repeat again here is the color coding on this side. You notice green is for the good zone. That's the C range. M is cautionary. X, of course, is very dangerous. Well, they left gray. They should be color coordinated the same. B should be cautionary, and A should be red or even black. If we get down into A range and the sun gets that weak, that's not good. All right. Even this week is kind of an indicator that we have a weak side of the sun and a strong side of the sun. When that big sunspot is facing away from us, we're getting this solar quiet on this side. And even these objects that are interacting with it, that are causing these big giant explosions, are barely registering that's like a C1 maybe right there. So very low indices in the sun create for low yield explosion type events. You know what I'm saying? They're huge events, but they're just not as big. X flare is 1%, M flare 5%. What we got going on now is 3633, a new sunspot that's going beta gamma. So we got a new player in town. Watch out. Over here, let me just zoom out one more frame here. I did too much there. All right, coming over here to your magnetic field The KP index, as you can see, it's kind of tapered off after this last little bout of energy we've had. We're down below 2 here, which is good. We don't need to be taking on any more energy from the sun up at the auroras, okay? So here's your auroras for right now. They're at 1. It's mild, nothing too bad right now. I don't see anything going towards yellow. So we're taking on some solar wind, and that's why we're getting, this brighter green. It's not from any kind of CME or anything like that. It's just straight up dense, fast solar wind. And backing out of that, let's come on over to check our tracker. This looks like the one from yesterday. Let me just pop it up anyway. All right. As you can see, this thing's moving away from us right now, which is good. We don't need to be taking any shots to the chin right now. Okay. So we got CME moving away from us. That's good. Let me pull back again. All right. Into this article right here. Oh, that's the 5th. Here we go to the 8th. Less than 24 hours to go until the solar eclipse for a narrow path across North America, including right here in eastern Ontario. A friend of mine locally spent Sunday afternoon preparing for the event and captured the image below of the sun. Nice little image. Not much to see. All right, so let's move on. Come on over here to spaceweather.com. And if we can, please, Lord. I remember to say a prayer for every time I change this thing. Okay, let's just blaze through this. The solar eclipse balloon launch. All right, this is about these guys in their channel. They're in Texas. We're in Texas. Dr. Tony Phillips and the staff of spaceweather.com are in the Lone Star State for tomorrow's total eclipse, getting ready to launch an Earth-to-sky cosmic ray balloon. So they're also going to be detecting cosmic rays with a balloon, okay? The payload will carry cameras above the clouds to photograph the moon's shadow from the stratosphere. Will it work? It should. It should capture some pretty cool images from up above of the shadow casting down onto the clouds as well. A new perspective on it, looking down from above instead of looking from down, looking up. All right, so here's the most important part, and we covered this last night, but we got to talk about it again. The strange chill of the moon's shadow. 100-mile wide shaft of cool air is about to race through the Earth's atmosphere faster than 1,500 miles per hour. It's the shadow of the moon created by Monday's total eclipse of the sun. This animation shows the progress of the darkness. We all know the path, okay? The solar eclipses make their own weather, starting with temperature. How much the temperature falls depends on the humidity. All right, it depends on the humidity. I showed you last night that there are storm clouds already brewing in that area prior to this event, right? That's why there's clouds going to maybe block some of it. That is humidity. All right. So how much the temperature falls depends on the humidity. Drier environments could see a drop of 8 to 14 degrees, less so if it's humid. Okay, so we could see less than 8 to 14 degrees if it's humid. All right. The reduction in temperature can make clouds disappear. So the shadow could stop the convection process for a minute, cool those clouds down. They could part for a second to where you would see the solar eclipse, okay? And the weather's looking better, actually. So the temperature... the reduction in temperature can make the clouds disappear. Satellites observing the eclipse from Earth's orbit have detected many examples. The 10-year study just published, blah, 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 blah. In some cases, clouds didn't start to return until 50 minutes after the maximum eclipse, okay, because that cool tube of air up in the atmosphere, okay? Once that dissipates, then the clouds return about 50 minutes later. This could be good news for eclipse chasers in Mexico and Texas, where the widespread cloud cover is expected. The eclipse itself might help clear the sky, all right? But the tail of it, once that cool jet moves through there, it's going to whip up some weather behind it, all right? It's 1,500 miles an hour, 100-mile wide shaft of cool air racing at 1,500 miles an hour up in the Earth's atmosphere. That's going to affect the weather down below. It's not going to be just a typical prediction. You know, they got to enter in this factor. Okay, and it's gonna play into what happens after the eclipse. There's gonna be a thunderstorm event, and people trying to clear out are going to be clogging highways, getting chased by severe weather and tornadoes, possibly. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. The setup is starting to happen this way. Now let's get over here. Whoops, did I finish up here? There was something else I was gonna show you. So eclipse make the temperature. Okay, no, we finished there. Okay. Now, over here to the Schuman, you can see we've had a grinding event again. This is the one I was talking about a couple of nights ago. Thankfully, it's not very intense, but there is one right there, and it brightened up our Schuman, our 7.83 hertz. See how it went dull for a minute, and then we started to come into continuity, and it starts grinding again. Would die off. See that weak spot right there? That's where the magnetic field got weak. Starts to struggle back to get continuity, and we go into a grinding event again. So we're having grinding going on down in the core shell boundary. It's causing the low frequency waves. This is an indication that pressure down below has built up again. All right, we have a lot of pressure still down below, causing the core and the shell to grind. If there weren't so much pressure, it would just be one nice smooth green line without a bunch of other scratches and all this grinding going on. All right. So there's your Schuman for today. And we did have a weakness. Where'd my pointer go? Lord, thank you. We did have a little weakness right there and a little about right in here. Okay. So if it gets strong right in here and then gets weak, comes to life, gets weak, gets a little stronger, and this affects your moods. It affects the animals. It's affecting everything. This is the Schumann resonance. Everything vibrates. Everything on this planet vibrates to that Schumann resonance. It's because you're of this planet. Okay? They have to provide this resonance out in space in a capsule, or else the astronauts will go nuts. If they get outside the Schumann resonance and they're in a capsule and there's no Schumann resonance provided, the people lose their minds and go violent. All right. And that's what happens when we have fluctuations in this frequency. It messes with people's heads. Sometimes it causes people, when there's none there, it causes violent behavior as well. Thus, we're getting geared up to go to war too, because people are losing their grip. And this is part of the problem. Okay, this indicates also pressure down below. All right, so let's get on over to our pressure. So here we are over, I pulled this up earlier. I want to take you back here. Where are we here? Can I go back a couple hours? Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 8 hours ago, look how dark it was here. You see how thick and dark the plume is about 8 hours ago. So the pressure was very intense back then. We had black spots. See how very organized, very dark. All right. And now, a few hours later, about 8 hours later now, let me see if that's the 8 hours so I can go being right back to where we were. All right, you can see it's lightened up a little bit now. So we have had a buildup of pressure and then a release of pressure. Okay, you can see the difference there. Let me just do that again. Let's go back 8 hours. Boom. We can go back one more. Go forward one more right there. All right, so you can see that we've had an increase in pressure, and that's That's what I'm talking about when it gets intense and dark and stuff like that. All right. So China went through a little bout of pressure today. All right. And you can see how dark it got there, how dark it was down here in Java and everything. Now let's go back to the real time. Get you guys situated here again. All right, so current conditions right there. We look down at Java. It's still got a bunch of sulfur dioxide coming off of it. Let's come over here to America. Kind of clearing up a little bit here. Shifted a little bit more to this side now. Used to be right down the middle. So you can see this area over here is kind of clearing out a little bit, but still very intense up in that region. All right. And you pick out your spot in the country, you know kind of where you're at, tell where your pressure, where your nearest plume of sulfur dioxide is coming out of the ground. Let's also go down to South America real quick. I want to look at this one. This one is definitely very big, very defined now. So that's an indication of pressure, again, down below has increased, all right, which translates into volcano and earthquake activity, all right? So that's all on the rise right now. Also, I want to go to the particulates, check out our sandstorm. Whoops. I want the 850. Okay, back to the particulates, to our sandstorm with the wind. All right. Do we dare look? Oh my goodness. Look at that. A huge sand plume coming off of Africa here, reaching all the way back up into Europe now. Yesterday it was kind of more going straight up this way. Now it is arced and going back that way. And I'll just kind of leave the winds on there for a minute so you guys can take a little look at what's going on there. This has been all winter long. We've had a sandstorm. We've never had a sandstorm that long in the summertime. All right, so that's a big problem. That screams that there's something wrong with something's wrong. Also, these objects, when they interact with our magnetic field, they take this silica, sand is silica, and it gets an electric charge, a static electric charge on it, which makes it lighter than air. The wind comes along and picks it up and just sends it airborne, and we just get these huge sandstorms now. All right, this one in Saudi Arabia kind of died out a little bit, but we still got this one over in the Gobi Desert going pretty good there. All right, so we've seen them intensify, shrink, dissipate a little bit. This one was almost done. It seemed like it was about to kind of wrap things up and then fired right back up again. So as I have a feeling, as these objects get closer and closer, the more they interact with the magnetic field, the more they statically charge the sand, which is silica, and it gets static electric charge, gets, like I said, lighter than air, picked up by the wind, and now we're seeing sandstorms around the planet as well, most of it all around Africa. Okay, but the sand is getting all around the world here. All right, and this is particulates. This is dirt and dust and sand in the air. All right, and it gets pulled up and picked up in the storms. See that? So not only are we having sulfur storms, but there's sand mixed in with it as well. Also come over to the oceans. We're going to check out this, the currents, instead of waves. Can we have you SS, please? SST. This one. Uh-oh. Let's try it again. Oh, data not available for this day, huh? Well, that's fine. We'll go to this. We'll go to the chemicals, and I'm going to come over here to, particulates. I want to do the SO4 real quick. Now, this chemical is sulfur compound. It's got 4 oxygen atoms per molecule. It comes from the ground and also as a pollutant, but that's not why we're here. This compound, SO4, this sulfate likes to bond with water. Water is all over this planet. It's all over the oceans. It's a lot of it in the air. The more particulates we have in the air, the more water the air can hold, like a sponge. Okay? So the more water the air can hold, the more it can mix with this. Now, when you mix H2O with SO4, you get a compound called H2SO4, which is known as sulfuric acid. So when I put the winds back on, you see that these storms pick up not only sand particles, but sulfuric acid gets caught up in the storms. And when these storms strike us, not only do they have sand in them, but they have sulfuric acid in them. They're acid rain storms, okay? And it's happening all over the planet now. It used to be just in the northern hemisphere, but now it's down here in the southern. It's all over the planet. Antarctica used to be immune, but you can see it's down there now too. All right. So out of control situation here, just a runaway train effect. All right. Moving on. Really, we can't get that. We can get. Kind of funny how it's not working tonight. So let's just go back to yesterday. If there's no data from today, I'll just go back to yesterday. Okay? How about that? Will that work? Huh? Oh, well. It was just kind of important for us to see these ocean currents. There we go. All right, these are surface anomalies, temperature anomalies in the water, okay? We got a big one off the coast of Japan up here. This is where we're going to see a big quake probably in the near future. Over here off the coast of Taiwan, in between Taiwan and China here is a big old bank of hot water being caused by, magma down below at the surface, heating water up down below there. You can put the currents on and you'll see here. Currents, please, not waves. You'll see how these currents take the hot water, it bypasses the cold water. See these tight barriers in between them? All right. And then once it does hit some cool water, it fans out and becomes warm. All right. So you can see where these currents have taken the hot water from here and from this side and pulled it all up. Actually, this whole island's getting surrounded there. How about yesterday, then? Whoops. I want the freshest that we can get since we don't have today's. All right, so that was the freshest we can get right there. So heat plumes coming off of Taiwan here, up by Japan, areas to watch. Also, we've also got Java that has all the volcano and earthquake activity to watch out for, but it dissipates a lot of the energy, so we don't see these big heat plumes going on there because we have the volcanoes venting that energy. All right, let's get out of here and get over to the earthquake report. And get started here. Couple of deep quakes here. We had a 4.5 down at 5:38, and this one next to it is a 4.5 down at 5:30. So two mid-range fours. Come here, you. Yeah, two mid-range fours down deep. Down here we have a halfway deep quake, a 5 at 3:53. So it's not super deep. It's about halfway up, a 5. So these two mid-range fours created 5 energy at the surface and at the subsurface there. And there's a 5.1 there. All right, the rest of that's quiet. Going up into the system, notice how quiet it is and empty on that part of the system. But when we get here, we have 5 energy at the surface again, 5.1. Right here, we have another 5. That's even down at 143, so that could have been stronger at the surface. We come over here to the very tip of Java, and we have another 5. You know what we do with 0.9s here, and you know why we do that. Okay, so another 5. 5, 5, 5. Gee, what do you think this might be? Another 5, 5.2 down at 42. Now this is the inlet right here. The Sunda Strait in between Sumatra and Java right here, and that's where Krakatau is, right in here. All right, and this is earthquake activity just offshore from it. Okay, which is good. It's releasing energy in this area. So please close it out. All right, so you see all these 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them right there, all in a row because of our 2 deep mid-range 4s right there. Coming up to this side of the system, we got a 4.5 there. We'll come to back to the Philippines, or back to Taiwan in a second here. I want to come up to Japan. What's that? Another 5 at 46 depth. Here's a 4.6 right next to it. So some activity south. We had that plume of heat up here, but just down the other end of the island, we're seeing earthquake activity. All right, now let's go back to Taiwan here, right in the middle. Pull this in a little bit tighter. We've had a few quakes today. 4.6 down at 23, 4.9, another 5. Okay, so mid-range 4 and a 5, and another mid-range 4. Okay, thankfully we're seeing this dispersal of energy on this side of the island, because when we look over here, this red line is a plate boundary that goes through an entire. There's just city after city after city after city after city after city after all the way down this coast. This is all just population. This whole coastline is just all city after city. It's all kind of one big city, basically. And when we pull back, you can see the red plate boundary line that runs right along the edge of it, right through there. So we're lucky we're not seeing these big quakes over on this plate boundary, because that's where all that hot water and pressure is right over there. So it's almost kind of like pushing back this way and making this the weak spot. Interesting how this is panning out. All right, so let's continue on. We did most of that region. That's all naked. All right, back up here to above the Gobi Desert. This is where we saw our sandstorm, right here in the Gobi Desert. And that was our little fish we lost the other day. When we rescued, he passed away. And his name was Gobi, just like the desert. 4.3 right here. We're having a lot of activity here today. Usually it's just 1 or 2 here. Did you guys note that? Usually we have 1 or 2 here. And look at all this activity. Starting with the 4.3 right there on that fault line. Look at that thing. There's a 4.6 right there. 4.5, 4.6, and then a 5 at the surface, and another 5.1 at the surface. 2 5s right there. Come on over here. What happened here today? 4.0 in Tajikistan. Been very quiet in this region lately, and they need some earthquake activity in this region to relieve the pressure that's going on in there too. So very quiet around the rest of the map. All right, as far as that, let's get over here real quick. We need to check out what happened here at California today. 2.6, not much, and a 2.6. Now, something we should go talk about here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put on 7 days, all magnitude, right here. 7 days, all magnitude. We're going to go into New York. Yeah, it wasn't just one little quake they had. Oh, no, they've been having quite the little quake swarm here. See that? Probably media isn't telling you that they're continuing to have quakes here, but little 2.0s, stuff like that. But here's your 3.8, 4.8 with a tsunami warning. All right, they freak back east sometimes. All right, so big patches, small quakes going on in this region right here. Okay, it's our new weak spot. Something else I want to take you to now. Everybody hold on tight. Everybody take a nice deep breath. Okay, do you know what this structure is right here? Yes, you do. As we pan in here, there's been more than just one quake here this week. We've had a 2.1, 2.5, 1.9, 2.4. Little small quakes right here are an indication of a weak spot. You guys all know what happened last time when the eclipse went across here back in 1811? The big earthquake that it sent off here. And it's looking to do the same thing again here. All right. And we're already detecting activity here at the New Madrid. Everybody take a deep breath, because we might be in for a show. All right. And you can see there's been an activity here a little bit too. All right. So, yeah. Now, back to the regular report here. I wanted to get to that before I forgot it, okay? Because that's been a problem lately. I got so much in my head. It's crazy. I never dreamed I would have this much stuff in my head. All right, getting back to this. This is another 5 over here on the Cocos plate, all right? 4.3 there. Please, slow down, Brian. Slow down. Down here, another 5, all right? 4.9, you know why we do that. It's not to cheat. It's just because when they serve you up an ace, a really fast ball, you got to hit it back just as fast, so, or faster. Anyways, a lot of 5 activity on the board today. Boom, 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 boom. 2 of them there. All right, so that's your increase in magnitude due to the pressure down below. That's how it's been working this whole time. When we see an increase in the pressure down there, it results in higher magnitude earthquakes. Luckily, it's staying in the 5 range, which is just inside the range of major destruction. So a lot of energy being released, and you can see it all the weak spots and stuff, okay? It's following the plate boundaries and fulcrum points, because those are the path of least resistance, all right? Now let's get on over here to our volcano report. Bear with me here, we're getting there. Oh. Please, Lord, can we have the top part of this page? There we go. Whoop. Bear with me. You guys are so patient here. That's another thing at this channel. We're teaching you patience. We went to a ranch the other day, and they had we're looking at horses, and they had these 2 just tied up to the stable, just doing nothing. I asked the rancher, I'm like, yeah, everybody else is in the stables. What's up with those 2 over there? He said, they're learning patience. And I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. They're learning patience. I thought that was funny. Anyways, back to our report. Popocatépetl, Marapi, Requejenas, Venador, all the regular players. Here's this cinder cone, being formed here at Requejenas now. All right, we've got a cone effect going on, a crater now. So Requejenas continues to erupt, and now so much is oozing that it's overflowing from the main crater vent. All right, yesterday afternoon, a significant change in the ongoing activity occurred at the main crater. It's strongly believed that the magma reservoir began releasing a new batch of magma. Well, that's because the pressure down below shoved it up to the underside of the crust. It wants to expand outward, but the crust is holding it in. It looks for any kind of perforation in the Earth's crust, any weak spot, the path of least resistance, and it finds its way up through there. And now here's your vent, here's your opening at the crust, and you're seeing more magma because we had more pressure. Simple stuff. They just don't believe it is all. They got their own ideas. That's fun. Okay, let's move on. We could watch it on X, but I don't do X. All right, Ebico, 110,000 feet. Luatobi, 70,000 feet. Marapi, 11,000 feet. Popocatépetl, we just saw that one at, what, 22? Reventador at 14. Sabancaya, 24. All right, that's another big blast right there. The height of these blasts, it denotes more pressure. You know, if we're seeing blasts that are 200 feet, well, that's a mouse fart compared to 24,000 feet when your uncle farts. Okay, let's get into the 7th here. Back to Recahenus, yes. Luatobi, Semeru, 14,000. All right, so Java dropped 1,000 feet. It was maxing out at 14 and then making new records at 15. So it dropped, hey, 1,000 feet, but still 14,000 is no chump. All right, so Popocatépetl, 20,000 feet. Santa Guido, 13,000 feet. Fuego, 15,000. All of these that are above 10,000 feet take a lot of pressure to boost those that high. Sabancaya, 24,000 feet again. All right, here we go with our lists here. Let me get a sip here. I'm just going to do this really slowly. All of these have the possibility of jumping over here. Lately, it's been something new, one that we haven't heard of. So, here in the Barren Island in the Indian Ocean is our recently new one with what, a couple of days ago, it's been added onto the list. So, a new one there. Bizamani in the Kamchatka Peninsula, Dukono, Ebico, Etna over here with all the smoke rings. You guys see all the smoke rings, right? Coming out of Etna. That thing should be over here because it's puffing away. Meantime, Dukono, Ebico, Erebus in the Antarctic, okay, in Antarctica. There's another one going active down there now. Erda Ale, Fernandina, Fuego, Ibu, Krakatau, and the Sunda Strait is currently erupting. All right, even though it didn't give us a altitude or anything like that, you got to remember this one's currently erupting, and we saw the earthquake just outside the Sunda Strait there. Luatolo, Marapi, Masaya, Merapi on the island of Java, Michael in the South Sandwich Islands, okay, Nyiragongo in Africa, Popocatépetl, Reventador, Recahenus, Sabancaya, Sakurajima, Sangay, Santa Guido, Semeru, Chivaluge, Stromboli, okay, in Italy, still going off, currently erupting, Suanosejima, Tinakula, a semi-new one added to the list, Villarica, and Yasur. Okay, all of these over here on this list could possibly hop over there. Uluwan, Ubinus, Recon de Vieja, Poas is the new one that was on this list just the other day. Okay, so now it's still kind of semi-active. I'm looking for Nevada del Ruiz. Every time it's on this list, it belongs over here. It's having blasts to 22,000 feet. That's currently erupting. So take that one off the list, put it over here. Watch out for Mayone, Manam, Luatobi. We just read Luatobi. It should be over here as well. Kilauea, it has its earthquakes instead of sprouting any kind of volcanic activity lately. Watch out for all the volcanoes in the Aleutian Islands. We got the Great Sikin one there, just active. Gamalama is another new one that hopped on the list. Watch that. Etna, We saw the smoke rings. Okay, it's due for an eruption. Watch out for Etna, Cotopaxi. This is one that was active a few years back and then dropped out of sight, and all of a sudden it hopped back onto the list. So another one that could possibly hop over here. All right. That's it for the volcanoes. Is that it for the volcanoes? Yeah, it is, because we showed the smoke rings. All right, let's get on over to our forecast here for April 8th, right there, and the ensuing storm in the trail after it. Okay. Let me take a sip here. All right, Lord, give him strength. Give him strength to understand, grasp the knowledge worth putting down here. All right. Almost done with this loop. The end here is kind of far-fetched, too far out there to be any kind of accuracy. So, all right. Here we go. Opening frame, our current conditions right now, the nighttime of the 7th here. Then, as we go, the morning of the 8th. Okay, that's morning time. Here's your path going right through there. So you got clouds right out in front of it. Remember, now this is going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, so 12:01. This is going to be about the time of the eclipse here. And you're going to have clouds in that area. But remember, the shadow is going to cool these clouds, making them stop convecting for a minute. All right, which could part them and keep it like at this level right here to where everybody gets to see it. Then, after that tube of cool air moving at 1,500 miles an hour goes zooming up that corridor, it's going to fill in with the clouds. And you see it filling in there. All right, there's right before the eclipse, right after the eclipse. That's the convection of the 8th. Then the nighttime. All of a sudden, we get convection popping up at nighttime, nocturnal thunderstorms and tornadoes. And I know all the weather chasers, all the storm chasers are going to be hot on this event, okay? Because this is going to be a big-time event, I think. Now, what I want to do is keep going. Now, this will be the morning time of the 9th. So, nighttime, convection. So the shadow goes by, that's the sundown, the convection of the 8th. It goes nocturnal, thunderstorms, tornadoes at night, blossoming hard into the morning, into Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, that region. And then by noon, kind of dissipating, but we still have these scattered pockets here. That's still dangerous there. But then we get into convection, and I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit more than just this here at convection, especially once that tube of air is rushed out of there and all this comes filling in. So that'll be the end of convection on the 9th, the nighttime of the 9th, morning of the 10th, okay? This is morning time activity that's going to catch people off guard. Noon of the 10th. All right, there's really severe in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, this whole region. And that can shift over. It could shift up. It could shift back. All right, but get ready for this time frame on the 10th. Then we go into the convection of the 10th. It gets really bad across Alabama and back into Mississippi, creeping into Georgia. There is your nighttime of the 10th. Morning of the 11th. So there goes the eclipse tail, just went by, the nighttime right after it. All right, and then the morning hours. So when people are trying to clear out of this zone, say a bunch of tourists are trying to hit the highways and move out, there's going to be severe weather hot on their tail. I mean, hot on their tail. Right after convection, it goes ballistic. Boom. Right there. I have a feeling this might shift and turn into one big solid line, because I don't know if this is taking into consideration that tube, that 100-mile wide tube of cool air moving at 1,500 miles an hour. It kind of looks like it has compensated for some of it. So, but there we go again on the morning hours of the 10th. So the nighttime event right after the eclipse, then the following morning, the following morning right there. Okay, so there's the nighttime. The following morning of April 9th, it's going to get nasty right there. Noontime should be kind of similar to that last frame. Convection, I have a feeling this might fill in too. So this whole region right here, right where that tube went, when it fills, all cold air comes rushing in and warm air comes rushing in, I have a feeling we're going to see a convective line in that zone because of that effect. I pray I'm wrong, but we'll see. And then it continues into the 10th because that's the nighttime of the 9th. It blossoms hard in the morning hours, goes ballistic at noontime here. This is going to be really dangerous. Noontime of the 10th there. And then we have convection of the 10th, really dangerous as well. Through the nighttime, morning hours of the 11th, noon the 11th, convection the 11th. And this is a huge, huge low. This is like a big old nor'easter. High winds, lots of water, lots of rain, flash flooding, high winds, power outages. That thing has a 984 or 985. So 989, 987, 985 by the nighttime of April 11th, 985. Yeah, it's category 1. Category 1, basically hurricane. The wind speeds, the storm surge again, this wraparound effect where wind coming from offshore onto land is going to cause storm surge. That's the morning of the 12th. Don't forget about snow on the backside, icing up in there. That'll be the noontime of the 12th. So back up, morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime the 12th, morning of the 13th. Another storm coming on shore here on the 13th. Noon, convection, severe weather in the valley by convection of the 13th. Breaking up by nighttime, morning of the 14th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 15th, noon, convection, nighttime of the 15th. This low right here coming in out of nowhere to right here by noontime the 15th, this low. See all these millibars collecting right here? We have by convection cloud tops popping up out in front with severe weather blossoming. Then it goes nocturnal, severely nocturnal in Kansas, reaching up into Nebraska and back down into Texas. Morning of the 16th. Wow, look at this. Wait a second. You see those colors? Severe weather up here in Montana. Ice, severe blizzard back here, high winds. This thing is arched back this way and is actually going kind of backwards. See that? So that'll be noontime the 16th, convection the 16th. This convection right here in Minnesota, northern Iowa, at the time of sundown, a convection, that's going to be very dangerous right there around the 16th too. We'll have to watch that time frame and see what these updates are. But that's the nighttime of the 16th. Look at this icing event back up in there. Morning of the 17th, noon, convection. Look at that. Wow. That's going to be the nighttime of the 17th. Look, that looks dangerous right there. All these little linear storm fronts right there. At nighttime on the 17th. That'll be the morning of the 18th, noon, convection. Again, convection here, Illinois, Indiana, the 18th. Nighttime, morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime of the 19th. Here we go, 420. That's the morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 23rd, noon, convection. Look at this thing going again. Wow. Nighttime, no, convection. And that was it. That's all we got for right now. So go ahead and start that back up, that play. This event right after the eclipse, and then the next day, watch out. All right. So those two events are the next ones to watch out for, and then whatever this is hitting the West Coast. Anything after that, this probably change a little bit, but we got to get prepared in case it does do that. All right. Because that's kind of spinning backward. A lot of catch people off guard. They think the storm comes this way and then it turns around and reaches back like that one did. Yeah. So right there, that whole alley, everybody stay on alert that day after the eclipse. If you can't clear out of there fast enough, hunker down because you might have some gnarly weather trying to chase you out of town. All right, so there's that. Dang, it looks like rain and storms almost every day. Yeah. I didn't read all of it. Okay, just kind of reading some of the comments in the chat real quick here before we switch over. All right, just making sure you guys are doing okay there in the chat. So let's move on now. So is this the one I want? Yeah. Okay, another event captured by the moon, and it looks like it was captured by our same individual after this ad. Really? Oh, no, that's not the ad. Here. Okay, so friends had told me to grab my camera and come outside, and I'm going to put this on. This is That Impossible channel. Go over to That Impossible channel, give him a thumbs up. James LaFour does some hard work there. But this is important that we get to see this part. Now, I'm not 100% sure because we can't see the date and the label, but by the background, the people in the background, the sound of this man's camera, this almost sounds like our individual that caught the face. So we're going to play this real quick. Hopefully I don't blow out your eardrums here. Here, let's back up just a tad bit.
How is all this connected?
What?
Let me just slow that down a little bit. Well, kind of. All right, so you already heard their emotional reactions to this. Now we know that there was an object sitting next to the sun, or sitting next to the moon. The way this man's camera works, the way he zooms in, the sound of his camera, I have a feeling this might be our gentleman who has picked up the face, because remember he said he'd seen stuff that scared him before. So this could be a previous video. What's too bad is all the information down here is all blacked out, so we can't find out for sure. But when there is a magnetic or an object with a magnetic field next to the moon, it could interact and have a plasma discharge like this right here. I've got it going too slow there. Now, I don't know if this is 100% real. To me, this is the same region where we're seeing said object. Oh, I guess I'll just let it play. Let me turn this down a little bit. They called him outside because the moon was changing colors from green to red. All right. And then when you see this plasma exchange between the moon and something else. And he's got that camera, the very expensive camera, auto zoom to zoom in on it, and auto focus, so it zooms in as you focus. He gets the moon in frame, and it's everybody out in the street. It's their reactions. They've already seen this, and they're already looking up to see it again, right? So that kind of tells me that a group of people has gathered out into the street. They've called him out because they saw activity, and then he captures that. Now, that doesn't look like your average lightning, doesn't it? Does it? It looks different. Let's see if we can capture just some of that. Right, whoops. And when their reaction, they scream in horror, what was that? Like this illuminated that face, maybe right next to the moon. I bet it illuminated that face and scared those people, because then they saw that face and went, what was that? Now we put the playback speed to normal. We'll play it here one more time with the volume now.
What?
It's important you see the before. He's in the house. He runs out the door.
Oh, look, there's another. What? What? What was
And
that?
how is all this connected to this?
What? Oh, look, there's another. What?
All right.
What?
All kinds of videos of like the moon getting impacted by like a meteorite or something, but nothing even closely like this. And this would be activity we would expect to see if there was another stellar body right next to the moon that had a magnetic field. They would have a possible interaction. All right, so imagine if everybody looking up at the eclipse and something like that happens. They see something like that, lightning coming off the moon, striking a big face next to it that's illuminated by the sun, and the moon's darked out. You don't see the moon, but the sun will be there hiding the moon, reflecting off of that face, and you might even possibly see a plasma interchange discharge like that. All right. If the people were to see something like that, or the giant face, okay, I'm going to pull up the giant face as well. We'll get that in this, and then we'll do our reading and stuff. That, let me just get that out of there. Get that out of there. And pull up this one, because this. All right, let's play the video first, because I want you guys to get refreshed on the video, because this is, I believe, the same gentleman videotaping this face.
Lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing?
Do you see the house? It kind of looks like the same house, too.
This video is coming in from Antonio. He's got an Instagram account. He posts several interesting videos. And
I have to get Instagram to find this guy.
Like, James, have you seen that face on the moon? And I'm like, what face on the moon? I've never seen a face on the moon or something like that. So I started investigating, going after this face on the moon thing. I think I misunderstood it in the beginning. But then I found the video and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So let's just check this out. Let's take a look at this. So,
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's
Okay.
a huge face.
See how the face
what is that?
being illuminated by the moon? Okay. If the moon is in new moon and it's not shining on this face and it blocks out the sun and the sun shines on this face instead, or if there were some kind of plasma exchange with that face in the sky during the eclipse, don't you think the witnesses down below, millions of people from all around the world seeing a giant face with lightning striking it or doing something weird like that, would do something? Okay. Now the message I got was from the spiritual realm is on April 8th, the world will pause. Okay, on April 8th, the world will pause to remember how to do better. Okay? When something like that, here, let me pull up the better version now, the one we read to here. Turn that down. Okay. Something celestial, a giant celestial event happening during the time that everybody's looking up and you would see a giant face like that. Do you think that that would make the world pause to remember how to do better? Yeah, it's not the end, but it will be a new beginning of understanding for mankind. A new perspective. And the message was, the world will pause to remember how to do better. Okay. What else do we have for him? We had that lightning striking the thing. And then, now in this video, go over to That's Impossible channel, give him a like. This whole video has other things going on in it. And in there was captured an EVP. All right. Most people are using the electromagnetic voice print to try to talk to dead relatives instead of asking important questions of the spiritual realm. Well, somebody asked some important questions and got some answers through the EVP. And you can come over here and watch it if you want. I'm not going to play that part, okay? You're not supposed to be dabbling in that stuff. You leave that to me because I know what comes with it and I know how to protect from that. But there's the message from the other side saying the world will pause to remember how to do better. And don't you think that something like this, or possibly this event happening again right here, would cause people to take pause to remember Jesus and then realize God is real and then maybe strive to do better in their lives? Now, wouldn't that be a new beginning? Not everything has to come to a train wreck end in order for there to be a new beginning. Not everything has to crumble for there to be a new beginning, but there can be a new beginning. And that's what it talks about at the end of that age. When that happens, that there will be a new beginning. And these are hints of possibly what might be seen on that day. All right. And if the world sees this, everybody was there, all cameras at the sky watching the eclipse, and something like that goes off, you think the world would pause, take notice? Well, they might. We'll see. Anyways, in the meantime, you guys have waited for the reading. So hopefully the people that were there, that were asking the questions, what's going to happen tomorrow? Well, tomorrow we're going to have an eclipse. All right. Whether we get to see or not, it's up to God. Or wherever you're positioned at, too. You might get lucky and get a break in the clouds. Some people, you guys here in this audience are used to seeing this, so you're all right. But the spiritual realm said there would be consequences for looking at the eclipse. So if there's going to be consequences for looking at the eclipse, how could that be? Well, unless something like this happens, then there would be consequences, wouldn't there? Everybody would have to swallow hard and reconsider their position in life, or what they're doing. Okay, so give me a second here. Everybody get in your cozy spot, get curled up, get ready for the reading. We're going to do a reading here, and then we can do some more afterwards. No way I'm reading to that one. No, we got this one pulled up. It's good enough. All right, and what's scary is, for me, is when I see my own face in the sky. It's like, that's my face. Oh, great. All right. So take some deep breaths. Get all curled up. You can fall asleep to my voice. I don't mind. You should feel comfortable enough to fall asleep to my voice. I would take it as a compliment if you fell asleep to my voice. That means you feel comfortable. Okay, so I got lots of notes for you. Let's just dive in. It's good that you recognize your weakness. That's what keeps you looking to me, your strength. Abundant life is not necessarily health and wealth. It is living in continual dependence on me. That's what abundant life is living in continual dependence on me. So instead of trying to fit each day into a preconceived mold, relax and be on the lookout for what I am doing. That kind of mindset will set you free to enjoy me and to find what I have planned for you. This is far better than trying to make things go according to your own plan. So don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up and laugh with me. You have me on your side, so what are you worried about? Lighten up and laugh with me. You have me on your side, so what are you worried about? I can equip you to do absolutely anything as long as it's in my will. The more difficult your day, the more I yearn to help you. Anxiety wraps you up in yourself, trapping you in your own thoughts. Anxiety wraps you up in yourself, trapping you in your own thoughts. When you look up to me and whisper my name, you break free from that and receive my help. Focus on me and you will find peace in my presence. This should make you feel better. You should be able to find some peace in the middle of this maelstrom. Okay, so the next one is the backside of the opposite page. Okay, here we go. So, come to me for understanding, since I know you far better than you know yourself. I comprehend you in all your complexity. No detail of your life is hidden from me. I view you through eyes of grace, so don't be afraid of my intimate awareness. Allow the light of my healing presence to shine into the deepest recesses of your being, cleansing, healing, refreshing, and renewing you. Again, allow the light of my healing presence, my voice right now talking to you while you're looking at my face, allow the light of my healing presence to shine into the deepest recesses of your being. Every last nook and cranny. The deepest recesses, cleansing, healing, refreshing, and renewing you. Trust me enough to accept the full forgiveness that I offer you continually. This great gift, which cost me my life, is yours for all eternity. Forgiveness is at the very core of my abiding presence. I will never leave you or forsake you. When no one else seems to understand you, simply draw closer to me. Rejoice in the one who understands you completely and still loves you perfectly. As I fill you with my love, you become a reservoir of love, overflowing into the lives of other people. Rejoice in the one who understands you completely and loves you perfectly. And as I fill you with my love, you become a reservoir of love that is overflowing into the lives of other people. Trust me each day, one day at a time. This keeps you close to me, responsive to my will. Trust is not a natural response, especially for those who have been deeply wounded. My spirit within you is your resident tutor, helping you in this supernatural endeavor. Yield to the Holy Spirit's gentle touch be sensitive to its prompting. Exert your will to trust me in all circumstances. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. Okay? Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. I will equip you to get through each day victoriously. As you leave, it's going to change that to something different. Let me change it. I will equip you to get through each day victoriously as you live in deep dependence on me. That's the other part. So, exert your will to trust me in all circumstances. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence, and I will equip you to get through each day victoriously as you live in deep dependence on me. Tomorrow is busy worrying about itself, so don't get tangled up in its worry webs. Trust me one day at a time. Okay, one day at a time, one moment at a time for some people, okay? For a lot of people. I speak to you from the depths of your being. Hear me saying soothing words of peace, assuring you of my love. Don't listen to voices of accusation, for they are not from me. I speak to you in love tones, lifting you up. My spirit convicts cleanly without crushing words of shame. Let the spirit take charge of your mind, combing out tangles of deception. Be transformed by the truth that I live within you. Okay? Be transformed by the truth, not only of my presence, be transformed by the truth that I live within you. Everybody that's listening to this show, even on replay. The light of my presence is shining upon you in benedictions of peace. Let my light shine in you. Don't dim it with worries or fears. Holiness is letting me live through you. Since I dwell in you, you are fully equipped to be holy. So pause before responding to people or situations, giving my spirit space to act through you. Hasty words and actions leave no room for me. So this isn't is I scratched that out and put I want to inhabit all your moments, gracing your thoughts, words, and behaviors. And I scratched all that out. Okay. So since I dwell in you, you are fully equipped to be holy. Pause before responding to people or situations, giving my spirit space to act through you. I want to inhabit all your moments, gracing your thoughts, words, and behavior. So thank me for the glorious gift of my spirit. This is like priming the pump of the well. And as you bring me the sacrifice of thanksgiving, regardless of your feelings, my spirit is able to work more freely within you. This produces more thankfulness and more freedom until you're overflowing with gratitude. I shower blessings on you daily, but sometimes you don't perceive them. When your mind is stuck on negative focus, you neither see me nor my gifts. In faith, thank me for whatever is preoccupying your mind. This will clear the blockage so that you can find me. Okay, so in faith, thank me for whatever is preoccupying your mind. So when there's something preoccupying your mind, thank me for it anyways. This will clear the blockage so that you can find me. Pretty simple stuff. Really, really simple. Just hard to apply. And once you do apply it, you see the results, you will understand that I'm telling you the truth. You just can't. When you will understand when you practice it, when you see the results, then you will come back and go, "Oh, you're telling me the truth." Okay. This other notes here. Oh yes. Oh, we need to sit for this. Good. Okay. So, relax, my child. I am in control. Let those words wash over you repeatedly like soothing waves on a beautiful beach, assuring you of my endless love. Relax, my child. I'm in control. Those words should wash over you, soothing you, assuring you of my endless love. Because you waste a lot of time and energy trying to figure out things before their time has come. Meanwhile, I am working, excuse me for the interruption there. Meanwhile, I am working to prepare the way before you. Okay, so you wasted a lot of your time and energy trying to figure out things before their time has come. Meanwhile, I am working to prepare the way before you. So be on the lookout for something wonderful and something surprising. Be on the lookout for some wonderful surprises, circumstances that only I could have orchestrated. Remember that you are my beloved. I am on your side, and I want what's best for you. Someone who is loved by a generous, powerful person can expect to receive an abundance of blessings. You are loved by the King of the universe, and I have good plans for you. As you look ahead into the unknown future, relax in the knowledge of who you are, the one I love. Okay? So as you look ahead into the unknown future, relax in the knowledge of who you are. You are the one I love. Cling to my hand and go forward with confidence. While you and I walk together along the path of life, your trust in me will fill your heart with joy and your mind with peace. While you and I walk together, holding hands, soothing waves on a beautiful beach, assuring you of my endless love. Relax, I'm in control. Let those words just wash over you repeatedly. Okay? While you and I walk together along the path of life, your trust in me will fill your heart with joy and will fill your mind with peace while you and I walk together. Pretty cool, huh? The backside of no. Yeah. That's the one. So walk with me in close, trusting love bonds of joyful dependence. I repeat, walk with me in close, trusting love bonds of joyful dependence. Joyful dependence may sound like an oxymoron, but it's the most fulfilling way to live. When you delight in relying on me, you are living according to my perfect design for you. Do you hear that? When you delight in relying on me, you are living according to my perfect design for you. The relationship I offer you is full of glorious riches, isn't it? Isn't it full of glorious riches? Let's come on over and open up this as well. We want another picture here, Lord. Because I offer you glorious riches like this. Like this. This is the best gift, man, right there. After this kid. Oh, cool. So we get to hear the whole thing?
Flowers does flowers and gifts.
Oh, cool. Wow, I turned off the sound and it keeps going. Come on, YouTube. What's your problem? Oh, all I was trying to do was pull up another image, you clowns. All right. Give me this image. I'm not giving up. Hang in there for a second here. I want this precious image. Not her. And her. This one. Yes. Good enough. Bingo. Right there. Easter. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. As promised. Look up. You'll see me coming in the clouds. When you see this and you see that and you see all this stuff happening, when you see all the signs, look up. Lift up your head. Quit moping around with your head down. Lift up your head. And walk with some courage and pride and some honor. Walk with me in close, trusting love bonds of joyful dependence. The relationship I offer you is full of glorious riches. Full of glorious riches. I am totally trustworthy, and I reach out to you with unfailing love. See, I am closer than the very air you're breathing. I rejoice when you seek to live in trusting reliance on me. This strengthens our relationship, building more and more bonds of affection between us. Here's a little scenario. A happily married man and woman are connected by much more than law and morality. Their warm memories of shared experiences create ties that draw them close and keep them committed to each other. Well, gee, that's just kind of like how you and I are here at this channel, huh? Isn't that true? Isn't that how we are here at this channel, kind of? Didn't I just describe your relationship with me right now? Let me get this. A happily married man and woman are connected by much more than law and morality. They're warm memories, the warm memories that we've shared over these years, right? Of shared experiences. Well, the shared experience of all the weathers, things that we've witnessed, all these miracles and stuff that we've witnessed, all these warm memories of shared experience create ties between you and me, don't they? Don't these memories and shared experiences create ties between you and me that draw you close and keep you committed to each other? I'm committed to you by doing these videos. You're committed to come here in this. They're warm memories of shared experiences that create ties that draw them close and keep them committed to each other. I want you to know that I am totally committed to you. I can fill your heart with loving memories as you walk in the light of my presence, joyfully depending on me. Warm memories, shared experiences, creating ties, draws us closer, keeps us committed to each other, doesn't it? Telling you, it's because of who I am. I made you a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned you with glory and honor. You were born for greatness. Do you hear me? You were born for greatness. Never doubt your personal significance, for I created you in my own image, in my likeness. I formed you with a magnificent brain that can communicate with me, that can think rationally and create wonderful things, and much more. I gave you dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and every living thing that moves on the earth. Of everything I created, only mankind is made in my likeness. Do you hear me? Only mankind is made in my likeness. This is a glorious privilege and responsibility. It's a responsibility too, you guys. It makes every moment of your life meaningful, doesn't it? Was your life boring and dull before you got here? After we've been doing some work together now, is your life have a lot more meaning? Is your life really meaningful now compared to how it was before? This glorious privilege, this is a privilege and responsibility. Okay, it makes every moment of your life meaningful. One of your chief purposes in life is to glorify me. I crowned you with glory so that you can reflect my glory. See how it works? I crowned you so you can reflect me, lighting up this dark-ass world and helping others to come to know me. I also want you to enjoy me. I created you with unlimited capacity for pleasure in knowing me. This joy you find in me here and now is just a tiny foretaste of the eternal delights awaiting you in heaven. Okay? If you like the way you feel now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? This joy you find in me here and now is a tiny foretaste of the eternal delights awaiting you in heaven. Everything new. And then I'll close that one. Okay, there we go. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart. I don't expect perfection in this pursuit. It's not about that at all. It is the effort itself that pleases me. I don't expect perfection. Progress, not perfection. It's the effort itself that pleases me. When you keep on seeking me, even though it's so difficult, you're actually, the intensity of this challenging search blesses you. The intensity of this challenging search blesses you. As you strive to find me in your moments, your focus is on me. While you trudge towards me through countless distractions, your awareness of me increases. Okay? As you trudge, or while you trudge towards me through countless distractions, your awareness of me increases. Even if you don't feel close to me, you find yourself communicating with me still, don't you? So there is a sense in which your efforts to find me are self-fulfilling. Huh? Huh? There is a sense in which your efforts to find me are self-fulfilling, because I am richly present in your striving. You're striving, and I am richly present in your striving. As a result, you feel more alive, more awake, and real. You actually feel real now. You feel more alive, more awake, and more real when you are actively pursuing me. Your willingness to pour yourself into this glorious quest delights my heart. This joyful journey is all about perseverance. As long as you continue seeking me, you are on the right path. Moreover, your success isn't certain. I will be found by you. Okay? Have I been found by you yet? Did you find me yet? Good. Now, we're talking about this eclipse. The world will pause to remember how to do better. The new beginning. You look up in the skies and you see this face every day, or is it? What if every day after April 8th you saw that face in the sky every day? Would that be a new beginning? Or just seeing it once, knowing that, the whole world captured it on camera, they can't hide it now, everybody saw it, it's there, lightning struck it or something like that, whatever happens, it would be a new beginning, wouldn't it? Because I am making everything new. This is the opposite of what is always happening in your world of death and decay. Every day that you live means one less day remaining in your lifespan on this earth. Actually, this is very good news for my followers. At the end of each day, you can tell yourself, I am one more step closer to heaven. You can. The world is in such a deep, desperately fallen condition that there is only one remedy for it, and that's making everything new. So do not be discouraged when your efforts to improve matters are unsuccessful. All things, including your efforts, are tainted by the fall. Although I want you to endeavor to do your best in dependence on me, your world needs much more than a tune-up or an overhaul. It needs to be made completely new. And this is absolutely guaranteed to happen at the end of time. For my words are trustworthy and true. You have good reason to rejoice, beloved, because I will make everything, including you, new and gloriously perfect. I will make you new and gloriously perfect. I'm making everything new. This is the opposite of what is always happening in this world of death and decay. So do not be discouraged when your efforts to improve matters are unsuccessful. All things, including your efforts, are tainted. Although I want you to endeavor to do your best in dependence on me, but your world needs much more than a tune-up or an overhaul. It needs to be made completely new. And this is absolutely guaranteed to happen. All right, so I think that might be it for tonight. You guys want to see some more video stuff? Or maybe, we're fighting a computer doing that. Let me get rid of some of these other sites here. Oh, I know where we can pick up at. Let's come back over to here. Where was this? Google. Images. All right, let's come on over here to some of these things that I've captured over the years. Wait, I want to go back. Go to Goblin. All right, that one we've seen before. Let's see if we can get this one to pull up here. All right, maybe you guys can see this wolf face here. With an eye here, his nose coming down, here's his ear, here's his nose, his mouth is open, and he's huffing and puffing. It's the big bad wolf huffing and puffing. Let me get another picture right there. Whoops. Other way. No, that's the same way. You see those eyes are there. It's a real wolf in the clouds right there. So this storm could be moving through after the eclipse, and you'll have the big bad wolf blowing cool air, 100-mile wide cool air tube. And then these things progress, and then they turn into that eventually. And this is the one I've showed you before. All right, that's totally an eye right there. For a cloud to make a perfectly designed eye with a matching nose and proportional face with lips and ears, that's not pareidolia. That's the spiritual realm taking place in your clouds. And this guy was interesting too. See his row of teeth in there? How could you do a row of teeth with the clouds? Oh yeah, straighten that up. Get some of those lines out of there a little bit. All right, look into the eye. There's a real pupil, a real eye there. All right, this face dropped down from the clouds way up above here. Okay, this thing descended like thousands of feet out of the cloud bank up above and made a face right over me, saying, "Hey, take a picture of me. Here I am." And let me zoom out, and I want to show you something, because look at all these pictures. All right, here's the guy with the lifting eyebrows. These are all the actual pictures I took of the clouds. All right, so you see that I'm not like faking this stuff. What are some of the other ones? That one I think had a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, You can almost see a grumpy face right here. And then that was before I went into the store. See this kind of grumpy face right here? And then when I came out of the store, Mr. Grumpy Face turned into the Grinch. Can you see the Grinch right here? And I just stand there and take picture after picture. This hill right here. This is the same hill that you see in the Jesus one on Easter. This is the same mountain. Activity goes on over this mountain all the time. That's the same mountain I was homeless underneath. And you can see I take a bunch of pictures here. Just keep going. You can see that the Grinch is growing horns here, right? Do you see how it kind of changed from a Grinch with horns into a dragon now? Can you see the dragon face a little more now, especially in this one? So the Grinch morphed into a dragon, just like the wolf morphed into that other face. And then it dissipated, changed into something else. But these are just a sample of the thousands and thousands upon thousands of pictures that I've taken over the years. And some of them have all kinds of stuff. Other ones, it's hard to find out what's going on in them. This is a moonshot type thing where somebody had captured frames, and I put all the frames together into a video to find out it was fake. All right. So that's those moonshots that I was telling you about, where they show, something impacting the moon. And it's always, something impacting the moon, not the moon spitting out green lightning. Anybody even think of green lightning? It's not even shaped like lightning. What the hell is that, huh? So this is some of the other stuff that I worked on to try to help put together. Oh yeah, this is the other day. See the smiley face? And 2 eyes and a little smiley face right there. It was a perfect one, and by the time I get my camera out, get the thing all loaded up, it dissipates, so I don't take too many pictures anymore. Let's go back to the favorites here. And then you can see these, once they're compiled and stacked together, one actually started out as a broken heart and slammed together as a face. I'll let that one play for a minute. And then there's another face with an eye there, mouth. See that broken heart slam shut into a face? All right, I got a few people hanging out here. Boom. That heart was like shredded, stripped right down the middle, and it slammed together into a face. So, spiritual broken heart turned into a spiritual entity there. Good night, Michelle. Oh, wait, you're not leaving. I thought I saw somebody leaving. Okay, so there's that one. The butterfly guy. Which one of these is better? I think this one comes out better a little bit. And then, where was this guy? I showed you that one last night. Here's this guy, some kind of cartoon character with Jerry the Mouse on top of his head, and he's lifting up this guy's eyelids because he's asleep. And when he lifts up his eyelids, the guy's eyes light up and he sticks his tongue out because he's shocked at what he sees. Some kind of like spiritual event there, the forcing of people to see something and be shocked when they see what's really going on. All right. So don't ask me why it's the cartoon effect. That's just what I capture. You'll find out that we're all characters. And then here, this almost looks like the Toth bird right here, but it's also a wolf face. There's 2 eyes up here, the snout, this big wolf face right there. Do you see that as well? So there's all kinds of multiple faces, things going on in your clouds. Another one I wanted to bring to you was, where did that single frame one go? Yeah, this one. Can you see this lion face with the two eyes, the nose, mouth, right here, this lion face? Right there. And then we also had this happen on the sun on September 10th, the day my life changed right there. That's what the sun looked like. This is a coronal hole. We had an object come from left to right, black out the sun for an hour, and then move up this way and reveal the sun from the bottom up. And I was trying to catch a frame that was midway through there, and there was no such frame. It was either just a little bit down below or fully exposed. So I found out there's no frame that exists in between that one and the other one. And then my computer locked up with this. And I was like, what? That's kind of the frame I was trying to get to, but it didn't exist. Out of the data off of the satellite, this frame did not exist. But it popped up on my computer. It's still the same event. It's the shadow creeping up over the sun. Yet, if the shadow's still creeping up, why are these sunspots? You could still see through them. So when my computer froze up with that image, I knew I better take some pictures of that stuff. So that's why those pictures are there. Let me see if we can find the where's the original video for that one, Lord? Oh, I know. Halloween. Oh, no. I meant on my channel, dummy. My channel, you, Brian, you're a dummy sometimes. Go back. I want my, there, right there. Oh, no. What the heck? Oh, are you kidding me? Why you do that to me, Lord? I was just about to type it in and it stole it from me. Oh, wait. That's why. All right. So, oh yeah, we'll do it right there. This is what the sun looked like on September 10th of 2017. See the coronal hole right here, making the mouth? These are two sunspots up there. You know what? I got a better video than this one. All right, no, let's just keep doing this one because this has the whole event in it. All right, here in just a minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. Something comes from the left to the right and covers up the sun for quite a while, for like an hour. All right, it's coming up here in just a minute here. Okay, you saw as it went up there was two frames. Here, let's get rid of the music. See, there's those two frames. There was the half one. Oh, go back a little bit where it was halfway here. And then that frame. And for some reason, my computer jammed up with this, the middle frame. It doesn't exist. I went back to try to recapture that frame and can never get this. I could never capture this again. It froze up with that image right there, which tells me that there's more, that was a spiritual event. I knew it was anyways, but when that showed up on my screen, I knew exactly what was going on and to capture that with my camera. And that's what your sun looked like on September 10th of 2017. This is NASA's imagery right here, okay? And then that's the day the dragon shows up, Nibiru and Nemesis. That's the same time frame as the Revelation 12 star alignment, 13 days before it. This was going on. And during this event, there were hurricanes going on the planet that everybody was watching the hurricanes. Nobody was paying attention to the sun or what was going on that day. They were all paying attention to the hurricanes that were happening at the same time. All right, so there were more than just Nibiru and Nemesis as signs in the sun. There was this sign in the sun as well. And that was September 10th of 2017. That's what your sun looked like. And then there's your X flare right there. Boom. That was the X10 or something like that. And then there's that frame from in between. Let me just play this real slowly here. All right, so you see this go left to right. Then it reveals up. Here, just a second. I want to. All right, see that frame right there? That's partially down right here, okay? The next frame is all the way full. See that? So that frame right there froze up on my computer. Pretty cool stuff. Anyways, that was that picture, and that was what the sun looked like on September 10th there. And those are the pictures I captured of it here. This one's fun. If you guys could see the etherical realm in this one, well, I wish I could get zoomed in on this. Can I zoom in on this? No, I can't. Anyways, in white, there's a big wing coming up like this. And you'll see, kind of watch my shirt, how my shirt kind of moves. It looks like my wing reaches inside. It's like reaching inside your own jacket into the pocket in your jacket and pulling out something and throwing it at the camera. And almost like a set of wings, or V for victory, because that's what I was thinking when I was praying, and I threw my arms up in victory. So maybe that's what this little V-shaped object coming out of nowhere. Boom, right at the camera. And I throw my arms up in victory. Victory! So, V for victory there. All right, pretty cool stuff. The angel at the foot of my bed, taking stuff off of my head with his wing over on this side, shooting a halo at me. It bounces off, hits his wing, and he hits it back. We'll watch that one for a minute. And I'm asleep, totally dark room, and I feel presence at the foot of my bed. And I start squeezing off pictures with my phone in the dark. All right, this is the flash illuminating the room on each frame. And then I put all the frames together in the flip book. You can see his head's like right in this black spot too, so you can't really make out the face or the head, but the wings go up and down, up and down. This one kind of reaches over to my head. You'll see it reach out and grab and flick something away. See that white thing it flicked away? Another one. Then it shoots this halo. A halo forms over his head. He shoots it to me. It bounces off. He hits it with his wing and hits it back to me. All right, so there's your paranormal activity happening, captured, angel at the foot of my bed. All right, that's that one. Yeah, here's where I'm sitting there praying. There's an angel standing here beside me, and he swings his wing in between me and the camera. And then, well, I guess I disappear for a second there, don't I? Pretty trippy. And I was not expecting that one. Here's the angels bowing over the children again right there. All real stuff. All since that September 10th. Okay, all this weird paranormal stuff's been happening to me because of who I am. And maybe what we should do is come on over here and go to the mark here. Kind of okay, it's a stab wound birthmark I have on the side of my chest. I didn't know about until Angel told me, go check your birthmark. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't have a birthmark. She says, yeah, you do. You suffered a mortal wound in a previous life and it left this birthmark on the side of your chest in the shape of a stab wound with 3 faces in it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here, let's do this one too. We haven't done that in a minute. How do I get to that, Lord? No, we go there. Oh, yeah. I remember now. So give me just a second here. Scroll. Got a lot of stuff to scroll down through here, but something else. We'll get there. Some cool music. All have the code. For those who learn the code and know what it is, you can enjoy all those. For you guys who want to learn what the code is, well, first you kind of got to believe me. And then when I tell you what the code is, you're going to flip out when you hear it in every song. And you will. All right. My feet. I have a birthmark right here on my foot and right here on this foot. Right here. Those are the 2 birthmarks I have on my feet as well. And every time I take a shower, they're glowing bright red. Hot water hits those 2 birthmarks, man, they glow bright red. And every time I take a shower, I am reminded, I look down at my feet and I see these 2 things glowing. So when you see that and you see the birthmark on the side of my chest, you hear my voice. You see my face next to the moon. It's because I am who I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. All right, let me see if I can find one last thing to close out with this. We got... Oh, perfect. All right, so... While you're looking at my face there, maybe. Oh, wait, we took the other one down. Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll just close out with that one. Sorry. I'm very undecisive. The Lord is like, Brian, go back, put it back. All right. There is peace and fullness of joy in my loving presence. So look for me as you go through each day. I am eager to be found by you. I never lose sight of you. I watch over you continually. However, there are many ways you can lose sight of me. Most of these are just temporary distractions, which abound all around in this world. The remedy is simple. Remind yourself that I am with you. Okay? Know this now. Now you guys can live in peace. No, come back over here. Go back to the Christmas thing. I don't want that. Sorry. Okay. Oh, yeah, cool. So get this right back to where we were. Bingo. All right. That image, very important. So I keep bringing it there. There is peace and fullness of joy in my loving presence. Look for me as you go through each day. I am eager to be found by you. I never lose sight of you because I'm looking down on you. Okay, so I never lose sight of you. I watch over you continually. But there are many ways you lose sight of me. Most of these are just temporary distractions. The remedy is to remind yourself that indeed I am with you. A much more serious problem is forsaking your first love. If you realize this has happened, then repent and run back to me. Confess the idols that have drawn you away from me. Take time to receive my forgiveness with thanksgiving. Collaborate with me in rearranging your priorities, making me your first in your life. And then as you spend time in my presence, think about who I am. King of the universe, light of the world. So bask in this light of life so that you can reflect me to others. While you are delighting in me, I fill you up with love, joy, and peace. Okay? Bask in this light of life so that you can reflect me to others. Bask in this light of life so that you can reflect me to others. While you are delighting in me, I fill you with love, joy, and peace. Don't I? Yeah. Because there is peace and fullness of joy in my loving presence. Yep. I want to fill you up with love, joy, and peace. So, thank you for coming here tonight. I hope you found some love. I hope you found some joy. And even though what's going on tomorrow, I want you to still have peace. Okay? Remember, I'm in control. This is a new beginning. It's not the end. It's a new beginning. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have all the evil people in this world held accountable and somebody who knows what they're doing put in charge for once on this planet? Just for once. You don't have a tyrant or some evil, nasty... Wouldn't it be nice? And that message from the other realm, the world will pause to remember how to do better. That's a good thing, don't you think? Don't you think the world needs to pause for a second and remember how to do better instead of what we're doing? Okay. New beginnings, guys. New beginnings. All right? Don't trip out. Even if it is the end, don't trip out. It's still a new beginning. And you're on the right side. So rejoice. Everybody else can freak out because they haven't found it yet. And that's what this whole thing's about. Okay. All right, that's it for tonight. I gotta get going. I'm tired. I got lots still to do. Ugh. Excuse me for yawning during the show. I love you all. I miss you all. How could I miss you all? Maybe I've been around you before. Maybe I know you. Maybe that's how I miss you. Yeah. I love you. I miss you. God bless you. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and I am still to come, too. So rejoice. I love you all. That's it for tonight. Bye. Happy... Cancel that. I was going to say happy Eclipse Day tomorrow. All right? Everybody keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention, especially to the weather afterwards. If you're going to be in that zone or in that area, remember there might be rough weather following afterwards, and especially the days following afterwards too, okay? some serious weather coming down the pike right after this eclipse as well. All right, so everybody remember, pray for each other, endurance, hang in there. These are biblical signs that you're seeing. Okay, doesn't mean the end, it's a new beginning. All right, I love you all, I miss you all, and until my next show, I just don't want to go. I don't want to go. I want to go back to here and show you this demon picking up the bike. Real poltergeist activity. That's some beautiful images here. But those kids sleeping with the angels over them is awesome. Yeah, I'll look over that one real quick. Just so you guys can see some. While you're laying there sleeping tonight, there's going to be angels over you just like that. All right. So rest, have some peaceful rest. Tomorrow is what tomorrow is. All right. Don't trip out too much about it. You got me. Okay. Hold on tight. You'll be fine. Keep your trust in me. If you start future tripping, return your thoughts to me and you'll feel better. Okay. I love you all. I sure miss you guys. We're going to be together soon here. All right. On Easter. Amazing. Turns into a lion. Turns into a lion face. Look at this round face right here. Face with the nose right here. And some really slow here, and eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. Now this... Okay, Brian Knight is coming like a lion. All right. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and I am still to come. You're going to have victory here soon, okay? That's it for tonight. I love you all. Bye. Really going this time. Bye.